Alrighty, on this Friday night, we did a rare special edition midnight movie talk with me, Eric Weber. I want to get started and talk about what is happening tonight, as this is kind of a breaking news midnight movie talk. Whenever we get one of these and we have something that's really big that I want to talk about, we can jump on and discuss and have some comments. Not going to go super long tonight. It's Friday. I got things going on. You got things going on, but we're going to do this. Let's do it. Again, welcome to Midnight Movie Talk. We talk about Top Gun Maverick landing an A plus cinema score. It has happened. Now, we talk about that all the time. Cinema score. What does it mean? What is an A plus versus an A versus an A minus versus a B plus as we go down the scale? Here's the deal. You land an A plus cinema score. That means that the audience not just likes your film, it loves your film. And that is what's happening here. When I saw this film 2.5 weeks ago, I saw it and I said, this is a A plus cinema score. I sent the tweet out. You guys probably just saw it. If you're on Twitter, you're like, I called it. I did. I called it. I mean, it's right there. It happened. It landed an A plus cinema score. Sent the tweet back I saw it on the 10th of May. So 17 days ago, I get right out of the theater there in Century City and I say, this thing is going to get an A plus cinema score. And then boom, there it is, an A plus. Now, what does that mean going forward? That means that this has perfect word of mouth. That means that people are coming out of the theater and saying, you have to go see this film. And there is no price you can put on that as far as a multiple for the weekend. So what we're going to look at right now, we have a Thursday preview number, which, by the way, was insanely high. You're talking about on Thursday night. Now, this also included Tuesday, but Thursday night previews, Top Gun Maverick is at $19.3 million. That is above Avengers 1. That is above Deadpool 2. That's above The Dark Knight, Jurassic World, Incredibles 2, Hunger Games Mockingjay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I can go on and on. Top Gun Maverick beat all of those films. Now, for a comparable, in another film that did about 19.7, but we're in the same ballpark. You're looking at Hunger Games, and that opened with $152 million way back in 2012. So a decade ago, that was the film that really broke the calendar belief that theaters and studios certainly had, that you had to have a film come out in the summer. You couldn't have anything come out outside of summer and have it be successful. And then here comes Hunger Games that came out in March and really broke that apart. And then all of a sudden you had things like 300 that broke through. You had all these films that started to do business outside of that window, and people said, hey, we can put a movie anywhere and we can win. So listen, this A plus cinema score and this Thursday night box office, this is on track for at least 125 minimum. That's the minimum 3-day. Okay, that's low. That is low. If we end up with a number, let's say tomorrow, we get this number tomorrow in the morning, we'll get the Friday number, which includes last night. And let's say that number, you already have 19.3. Let's say the full number on Friday, let's put it at, let's just say 50 million. Okay. If it does 50 million with an A plus cinema score, that should be a 3 multiple. So you take 50 times 3, right? That's 150 million, because the multiple is going to be super high because the cinema score is A plus, right? If the word of mouth's low, like Doctor Strange, the multiple's lower because people don't come out of Doctor Strange 2 and go, oh my God, you got to see the movie. They're doing that with Maverick. All I get are texts, direct messages, plenty of tweets too from you guys saying this film kicks ass. And it does. I've seen it twice now. I think it's even better the second time for me. Just the emotion, the highs of this film are just pinging the top. And once you do that and you have average moviegoers feeling the way that they rarely do anymore when they go to a film, they come out of it and go, oh my God, you got to see this. And it spreads like wildfire. Word of mouth is either really good or it's extremely toxic. And in this case, it is going to be gangbusters for this film. So I think we're looking at, over the next 3 days, at least 140 for 3, and then throw in Memorial Day, which is essentially another weekend day. Everyone's pretty much off on Monday. So you're going to get the matinees, you're going to have everyone going to movie theaters. And what's going to happen is people that were on the fence about this film are all of a sudden going to be in. And at the end of the day, this is a win for humanity. Okay, it is. We need a film like this right now, don't we? With everything going on in the world, We need something that gets everyone excited and makes everyone feel life affirming, and you feel just jacked when you're ready. You come out of this thing, you're ready to go, conquer the world. We need it. And this film is delivering it. And again, not surprising to me that we are here tonight with an A+ cinema score and a multiple that's going to be insane over the next 3 days. I think, again, 140 bottom for 3, and then above that for the 4 day, it's going to be 175 or higher, which will be, again, if it does 130, what is it, 134, it'll be above the Batman at 133, 134. So it'll do better than the Batman. Then you're going to say, well, why? How is that happening? One, the word of mouth is perfect. Batman's word of mouth was very good. It wasn't perfect. Two, this is a 4-quad film, which means you have families in play. Little kids were not going to see the Batman, not with the Riddler, not with the serial killer, the grounded Matt Reeves production that he put out there. Little kids are not going to see that, right? Parents, if they're good, are not taking them to see the Batman. Conversely, you can take kids to see Top Gun Maverick. There's nothing in this film that is objectionable. And I'm viewing it through a parent lens. I'm viewing it through watching kids sit next to me. There was a little kid next to me that was like 3. He's a little young. He was bored because it wasn't like nonstop action. But when the jets were flying, he was cool. But when it would, the drama came in, it was like, nah. But the kids are there. Okay, that's what I'm saying. They're going to be there this weekend. So it's going to be a huge number. Let's get to comments again. Again, this is just, hey, this is a freelance, super just, winging it. Midnight movie talk here on a Friday. Thanks for joining, guys. And again, I'm just so stoked to see this A+ cinema score. Drew, good evening to you. Didn't expect Maverick to make me as emotional as it was. It did. I literally teared up. The second time I saw it, I teared up when I heard the Top Gun theme. Again, just loud in the Dolby and then in IMAX. I saw it the beginning of the film twice. I watched the whole film, then I sat through the beginning again. Perfection, right, Drew? Standing O in my IMAX screening in Boston. Were you at Boston Common? That used to be my theater. I used to go to Boston Common like 5 nights a week. All the press screenings were at Boston Common, AMC Boston Common. That's so great to hear. I mean, if people are standing up and it's cheering, that's an A+ cinema score. You don't get that at movies anymore. Again, it just delivers everything that you want. And we don't get that very often in life. Certainly not in the past few years, where everything that you really want out of a film is there. I know some of you don't have the exact same experience with it, but in general, again, when we generalize and say the average person and what they take from this film, they're very happy with what they're seeing. So Drew, that's great to hear. I'm glad you loved it. Maverick's about to open bigger than the Batman. I agree with you, Nick. It is absolutely going to do that. Legit blows my mind. Maverick's going to beat Batman in 2022. It is crazy. What it also tells us is this: the state of theatrical is not just strong, it is growing stronger by the moment. We have everybody back in. Every single person that was on the fence or frankly out is back into the marketplace. I sat through the film again yesterday. I had an 80-plus-year-old woman on this side, and again, the kids that are really young on the other side, a whole family. It's one of these films that really draws, no joke, from like 5 to 95. And it's getting people to come back to the movie theater that have not been there, not just COVID. We're talking maybe even before that. This is a film that brings an older audience back to the year 1986, 36 years ago. I believe that's correct. 36 years ago. That's a long time to wait for a sequel to a huge film. I mean, this was a film that was iconic. This is a film that when you list 80s films, I know some of you don't love Top Gun as much as those of us who grew up in the 80s that had all the film. I mean, listen, I think about the films that I had when I was a kid that I got to see in theaters. We're talking about Empire Strikes Back was really Star Wars was border for me. Then you had obviously Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, you had E.T., you had Alien, you had Aliens, you had Blade Runner, you had all these films, and then you have Top Gun in 1986. I mean, it was a phenomenon. I can't explain to you, unless you were back in 1986, how big this film was. That was a time when there wasn't a million, you couldn't, jump on YouTube and do a stream on a Friday at 9:30 Pacific. You only could watch network television, right? 3 networks. Fox wasn't even around then. Okay, PBS, 4 networks. And then that was it. And then you had movies and you had the radio and that was it. And Top Gun was a phenomenon where everybody saw it and everybody was talking about it and everybody had the soundtrack. I had the cassette And I played that cassette forward, back during all my workouts. When I started working out in my parents' basement with weights, it was the Top Gun soundtrack, Mighty Wings, and everything else, Top Gun theme, all back and forth, right? Because in the cassette, if you guys ever seen a cassette, it's hard to go. I had a crap cassette player, so I literally had to play it all the way through one side, and then you had to listen to the whole thing. There was no like skipping ahead to songs. It wasn't easy with a cassette. So this is really bringing that audience back to movie theaters that some may not have been in a movie theater in 10 years. Seriously, maybe longer. I mean, I don't know. The woman next to me, again, she was well into her 80s. And I wish I would have asked her, when was the last time you came to a movie? Because I guarantee she would have said a very long time ago. I bet you way pre-COVID, maybe like 2015. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the last thing, but it's been a while. Nick, again, with the biggest opening of Cruise's career, no question it would be. The irony, the sequel to Top Gun does it, right? And now it really cements Tom Cruise as the movie star, one of the last we have. I think Brad Pitt is in that equation. Sandra Bullock just proved it with The Lost City, although she had Pitt, she had Channing Tatum. There's only a few movie stars left that can open a film. Tom Cruise is still that guy. MI7 will be next year. It'll be huge, and this will just only cements his legacy that much more. But it's not just about Cruise, okay? Let's not pretend it's all about Tom Cruise here. It's about nostalgia, okay? Again, like I said, it's going back 36 years to Top Gun. That was a phenomenon that you guys don't understand. If you're young, you'll never understand what it was like back then, when it was really just that. There was not all these options. Everything's been atomized, right? So again, doing a stream here on a Friday night, and I'm on YouTube, and there's a zillion people doing streams right now on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. We could Facebook. You could do a million different things. We didn't have that. All you had was a movie theater, and again, the television and a radio, and your records, cassettes. Not even compact discs at that point. So that is it really is bringing that feeling of unity back. And I think that's what I love about film. If you ask me the single biggest thing that I love about film, it's the power of bringing people together in unity, right? When we're all talking about one thing. These days, it's very hard to find that. I mean, we have, again, everything's been atomized. We have so many different outlets and things we can do at one time that you have this situation where you're in a theater, you're having a communal experience, and then you're experiencing a film that delivers everything that you want from a film 36 years later, a sequel in Top Gun Maverick. That's the power of cinema. And whether you love the film or don't, you can recognize that. And I think that's ultimately what I love about movies. And tonight is a night that I'm just excited. That's why I said, let's jump on and do a Friday night, midnight movie talk, because this movie deserves it. It's such a great film. Nathan, good evening to you. These are the movies I wish I lived in California. I'd love to see this in 4DX and ScreenX. Yeah. Again, Dolby Cinema Burbank's my number one screen in all of LA. IMAX is very good. Right next door. They're across the hall from each other. If you come out to LA, AMC Burbank, number one. It's better than Century City. It's better than Universal. Universal has a huge IMAX. Parking up there sucks. So I'm biased because I could walk down to Burbank. But yeah, we have all those screens because this is, movie central, right? People that all go to movies here, not all, but most, they work in the industry. They have some connection to the entertainment industry. They demand perfection. So if you have a, rickety old movie theater that doesn't have the picture perfectly framed, the sound just ideal, then you're going to hear it because the people out here are like, man, I edited this movie. I did the music for this. Get it right. And that's kind of the beauty of living in LA, that people really care about their art and certainly about their film. Gavin, again, theater was packed tonight. Busiest I have seen since Endgame. Yeah, isn't that? It feels like that. I know it's not going to be as big as Endgame. I get it. But it feels like it, doesn't it? And again, to all those people who said, movies are never coming back. And you know who you are. I love calling you out. I will call you out forever. And I'm sure tweets were deleted. I was so pissed when I saw those tweets. Like, stop pushing fear. Stop pushing your shit. Just let people do whatever they want to do within the realms of what is considered safe. I'm so tired of people saying this is never going to happen. We're never going to do this again. We are. We're doing it this weekend with Maverick. We did it with No Way Home in the middle of Omicron when people were saying, stay home, you're going to die. People went to see movies. And you know what? Most of them are still with us today. I don't know how that happened. It's very strange. How are these people still alive? How am I still here? I've seen movies for the past 6 months plus. I went to Vegas in the middle of COVID. I'm here tonight talking to you. It's so strange. I don't know what the hell happened. All right, let's pull it back in. There was a cosplay in the lobby. I've never seen that for a non-superhero or non-Star Wars movie. Numbers going to be huge. Gavin, this is crossing into the zeitgeist. I called this on Thursday morning, Wednesday, Thursday, just week as we built. I said this is a zeitgeist moment, and what that means is when we get you guys. Hopefully, you know this is that it crosses into everyone's. They're aware of it. They are aware of Top Gun Maverick, and that's the thing is it's very hard to do that. I just told you the difference between the 80s and today. It's very hard to get everyone's attention these days. And that's what Maverick is. It is galvanized the movie going audience and even people again that haven't seen a movie in forever. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing kind of this end game ish, and nothing will ever be end game, but it's in the same vein. And many people said we'd never be back here. No one's ever going to a movie again. No, it's not safe. Shut up. Just shut up. If you want to do that, do it. I just don't want to be told that anymore. Nick, people literally high-fiving, walking out. This is the magic of film right here. This is what I'm talking about. The feeling of elation and the feeling of unity, and you are one in this communal experience as you sit through Maverick and you're high-fiving people you don't even know. And again, we're never going to high five anybody again. Oh man, I could go on forever tonight. Little kids actually into it, right? That is cinema. It is, Nick. It is. It's cinema. And there's so many different kinds of cinema. Okay, but Top Gun Maverick is cinema, and so is any number of the films behind me. As you can imagine, these are all FYC screeners. So of course, these are the best of the best. They should be, except for Wonder Woman 84. Let me pull that down. For those of you new to the stream, every single time I've got to point out Wonder Woman 84, literally the worst FYC screener ever produced. That's why it's front and center right there. Ryan, good evening to you. After seeing the movie a couple hours ago, I knew it was going to get that A+ cinema score, right? Very easy to see. Very easy to feel that and evaluate that. You just know it. Maverick is such a crowd-pleasing movie, and Paramount is being rewarded for waiting 3 years. They held this film. They had a chance to release it. Then they realized COVID. They said, no, this is a theatrical film. Remember, they sold some things off. They sold off Coming to America and whatever. They sold something else out. I know for sure it was Coming to America. They sold it to Amazon and they streamed it. They got rid of some stuff. They got rid of, United States versus Billie Holiday, another film that they said, we're going to sell. Then they said, we're not selling Top Gun. We're not selling Sonic. Well, Sonic was in theaters, and then, of course, COVID, and then it was one of the last films in. I think it was in theaters when COVID hit, along with Invisible Man, and The Hunt was right around then. All those films, the way back. Oh, my God, I can start a list of every movie that was in theaters before when COVID hit. But they said, we're going to hold Top Gun Maverick because we know this is a good film. They knew it was great. And what's crazy is I feel for these young actors who've been sitting here waiting for this film to come out because they know it's going to change their lives. I've talked about Glenn Powell so many times on the stream. Glenn Powell, I have had this kid on my radar as far as superstar for many a year. Okay, coming up on not quite a decade, but Everybody Wants Some was, I think, 2015, maybe 2016. That's where he really entered my consciousness when I saw that film. Oh, my God. He's just so great in that film, Everybody Wants Some. Very small film. Check it out. It's also Paramount. But the reason is that, he's sitting there waiting for this film to come out because he knows that Top Gun Maverick is going to make him big. Okay, his agent knows that, his publicist, manager, everybody knows that. And he's sitting here waiting for the film to come out over the past few years. And now it's finally here. You saw him last night introing the film at AMC Lincoln in New York City. These people are going to have their lives changed by this film because the eyes on this film are just wait till you see the number after the 4-day weekend. It's going to be massive. And that brings you an awareness, and studios all of a sudden want to work with you. Look at Paramount. They saw him in Everybody Wants Some, Glenn Powell. And then they said, this kid's a star, because there's no way to watch that film and not see the same thing about Glenn Powell. And then they said, we're going to put you in Top Gun Maverick and give you the Hangman character, which is perfect for him, by the way. I mean, this kid's suave as hell. I talked to him at Critics' Choice. He sat at my table at Critics' Choice Awards one year, and he just has the look. He has the look and the aura that you just can't. They have the it factor. There's no way to describe it other than that. You guys know, it's like you've heard the Julia Roberts and Mystic Pizza story so many times, but when you watch Mystic Pizza, you're like, Julia Roberts, star. Glenn Powell, star. Everybody Wants Some. And then here it is. Gingy, you saw the film. I wasn't disappointed with any of the actors and performances. That is rare for me when seeing films. Wow. Gingy bringing the sledgehammer when it comes to actors. There's not a performance in this film that doesn't work. Not one. And think about that. It is true a massive ensemble. I mean, this could be. I think it's going to be an awards film. I really do because it's so popular. It will resonate with Hollywood because of there's an older base, right? People Gen Xers and up, they're going to love seeing this film and they're going to be back in theaters, going to have really good feel about the film and they're going to love it. They're going to really have passion for it. And that's why the film's going to do well at awards time. But watch this thing do a SAG ensemble. Think about it. Everybody in this film, if you haven't seen it, you got to go see Maverick this weekend. No joke. You have to go see the film. But everyone in the film's strong. Not one person, not one performance in the entire thing. And there's how many performances? 20 plus, right? We could start listing them all off. But all the young actors, Cruz, Conley, her daughter, Val Kilmer, you guys know he's in it. All the performances in the film are solid. Every single one of them is very good, above average, or great. Including Tom Cruise, who, when he has the scene with Val, is really that is the moment he has, right? When he can't let go and you just see that is where your Oscar moment comes from. That's where your and nominated for Best Actor Tom Cruise roll that scene. I mean, it's easy. You can see it. So yeah, the acting's very strong. Good call on that, Gingy. It's one thing I mean, I mentioned Glenn Powell, I mentioned Tom Cruise, but everybody is on top of they brought their A game in this movie. You're right about Maverick getting an A+ cinema score. Yes, indeed. Pat yourself on the back, Knight. You guys know I don't mind doing that. But you know, when you go out there and you say, I said bookmark the tweet. Bookmark the tweet. Let's see if I can get it back up there. Bookmark it, and then you are going to see this film end up with an A+ cinema score. And there it is. So the tweet again was sent on the 10th of May, 17 days ago at 3:43 in the afternoon. That's my time, 3:43. Bookmark this tweet. Top Gun Maverick will land an A+ cinema score. And then boom, tonight, A+ cinema score. So that's cool. I mean, listen, if it would have gotten it, I knew it was going to get anything below an A. So I would have been crying if it had an A, but I mean, no surprise. It's very easy to see how it got that. So thank you, JT. I'm very happy about that. A+ cinema score, multiple of 4.5 opening weekend, 3-day 4. You know, that's four multiples insane. Four multiples way too high. I think a 3.5 multiple would be good. So a 3.5 multiple at 50 would put this on a 3-day of like 170. We're going to find out. We'll have the number in the morning. Okay. So I'll get that out ASAP. I mean, it's going to show up about 8 o'clock in the morning for you on the East Coast, 11. About 8 Pacific, you usually get that number. And I think it's going to be around, let's just say throughout 50 and somewhere in that range. If it goes higher than 50, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is going to be, but I felt it. This is, and Aaliyah, I'll tell you, we've talked about this so many times about scheduling. When box office is really, it's very key component of box office is timing and not having anything in front of it. I call it the wave. I told you this one of the first streams we did when I started this channel about 2.5 months ago. I don't know if it's been that long. I said, box office is about waves. Okay. So you want to be in a spot on your surfboard, ready to go as the wave comes crashing in. You do not want to be on the back end of a wave. So let's say that a huge film opened last weekend. Let's just say it was Doctor Strange 2. So Doctor Strange 2 opens. Maverick would not have this opening if it was back to back with Doctor Strange 2, because what happens is not everybody goes to the movies every weekend. A lot of people go every third weekend, fourth, maybe every 2 months. So those people are casual moviegoers, and they'll only go once and then they won't be there for a few weeks. Like right now, you got Maverick. They won't be back in a movie theater for 2-3 weeks, whatever the next big thing is. Maybe Thor, probably Jurassic World is my guess. That's like 2 weeks, I believe. There's nothing next weekend of significance. So Maverick had the luxury and the perfect sit. They were literally sitting in the ocean, and here comes the wave. It was flat because there's been nothing since Strange 3 weeks ago. Nothing big. Men doesn't count. Downton Abbey certainly doesn't count. Bob's Burgers this weekend is not a head-to-head by any means. Bob's Burgers looks like it's actually doing better. But if you look at it was just perfect. It was a perfectly situated date, Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend, reviews at almost perfect, 97%, audience score at 99%. Everything the stars were aligned for this film. And it's not just about the stars being aligned, because all that, yes, that's true, but it's also a testament to how strong the film is. It's about the stars aligning plus the film delivering everything that moviegoers want, hence the A plus cinema score. So it's perfect. It literally doesn't get better than this for a film. It's this is the best situation you'll ever see. Endgame was another one. Endgame, Maverick are two of the best situated, perfectly. They struck the wave as magnificently as they could, and that's the what I'm here tonight to talk about is that's rare. It's a rare event, so it's super cool to be here and experiencing it right in the middle. We've caught the wave. That thank you to the fans message from Cruise that plays before the movie had a massive pop in each of my times seeing it, and that's how much Tom Cruise cares. Tom Cruise filmed that, right? He said, "Hey, come to me, shoot me. It's short, right? Whatever." He says, "Hey, we worked on this. We used real F-18s, real jets, all this stuff," and the crowd goes, "My God, it feels like you personalize it, right?" And that another thing that goes a long way. Tom Cruise has a passion for film that few actors do. He understands the business too. I think that's another thing about Tom Cruise. He's not just an actor, he's a business guy. And he knows. Remember, he was one of the first guys back in theaters when COVID came back. People were like going, "You're at a movie theater. What was it? What was the movie came out? I think it was Tenet, wasn't it?" He was at Tenet in London, and I don't think he had his mask sorted down. Everyone that we were doing that whole, he's got his mask down. Oh my God, he's gonna kill everybody. Please do not be that person anymore. Nobody wants to be around that person anymore. If you want to do it, that's fine. But don't be the person that's like, he's not wearing his mask. It's just like, just be better than that. Be like crazy stupid love. Be better than the he's not wearing his mask person. Just please. Um, Top Gun Maverick number 1 at the box office till Lightyear comes out in a few weeks. Lightyear is right. That I think that's next, or is it Jurassic World? Is it Lightyear then Jurassic World? Let me pull up my schedule. Let's pull up the schedule and look. I have not. I really should know this. It's funny. I sat down last night with Scott Mendelson, and you guys know Scott from Twitter, from Forbes. Uh, Smartest guy, one of the smartest box office guys you'll ever come across, and a detail guy. He knows everything. He started rattling off every film. Here we go. Let's pull it up. So here is the schedule, but Mendelssohn's literally like, okay, and next week is this, and the week after that is this. I'm like, oh my God, he's going like 4 months out, like not 1 or 2 weeks like I tend to do. He's literally like 4 months out. So next week we have, well, RRR, the Indian film, is getting a re-release on the 1st of June. That doesn't really count. Watcher is a small IFC film. That's nothing. Next weekend is literally zero. Nothing major next weekend. Then we go to the 10th, and we get Jurassic World on the 10th. So Jurassic World, that's a perfect situation for that film too, because Maverick will have had 2 full weekends, and it'll start to go off. It'll still do well. Maverick's going to do well for a long time. I said it was going to be one of the biggest hits of the summer. But you look at Jurassic World as the next big film out. Then you get Lightyear on the back end. Now here's the thing. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad I pulled this up. So we've got Jurassic World Dominion coming out on the 10th. Guess what comes out the following week? Lightyear comes out on the 17th. That is not ideal situation. That is bad scheduling on Disney's part. I know it's in summer, and I know more people are going to movies, but I'm just telling you, this is not a good Jurassic World here and Lightyear here. It is a 1-week window, and those are both family films. So Lightyear will suffer because it's always the second film that suffers, not the first film. It's the second film. Lightyear will suffer because of Jurassic World. I'm calling it now. No question about that. I'm not saying it'll bomb. I'm just saying it'll suffer. Then we go the weekend after that, Black Phone, and I believe Elvis. That's right. Black Phone and Elvis. Black Phone's going to outperform as a horror film, tiny budget. I'm hearing really, really good things about the Black Phone. As opposed to Firestarter. You guys know I've seen Firestarter 5 times, so I can't really bash it as much as I want to. The Scorched Cat scene. I mean, it's so good. The Black Phone is supposedly very, very good. So that's going to outperform. And then we have Elvis, and I think that'll do well. I think Elvis is going to work for older audiences. And I think what's going to help out Elvis is the fact that it has Maverick this weekend to bring in those people who haven't been in a movie theater in a while. Because remember, Paramount put a 4-month theatrical window on this film. 4 months. That is forever. I mean, remember these 17-day windows, and people were like, I'll just wait for it at home. Now you know if you want to see Maverick, you got to wait 4 months. I mean, what is it now? My God, that's September? September 27th, you can watch Maverick at home. By that time, no one's talking about it. So that's the magic of theatrical exclusivity. If you want to see the film, you have to go out and see it at a theater And we all know we don't want to be like, oh, have you seen Top Gun Maverick? You're like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." And everyone's like, oh my god, you haven't seen it? What? Oh, that he hasn't seen the movie. No one wants to be that guy, especially on Twitter. You want to be the first person in not the last person. So everyone's going to see Top Gun Maverick because that's part of the deal. You got to be in on that first round. You don't want to be late on it. Everyone, you see it like 3 days later, and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm late on Maverick. You're like, dude, you saw it 3 days after it opened. But that's how we are. 4 months. No one's waiting 4 months. They're going to go see the movie. So Maverick's going to do very well for a very long time. Very excited to see that 4 month window. I love it because I love film. Okay, I know some of you want streaming, and that's fine, but we need theatrical. It's back 100%. And what's going to help as I pull it back up is when I look at Elvis, that's going to bring people back in this weekend. Is going to get some people back in to a movie theater that haven't been there in a long time, and it's the same crowd that'll go see Elvis. So they'll be like, well, I went to see Maverick and it was great. I love Maverick. And also, I'm still alive, right? I'm still alive 2 weeks later. So maybe I'll go see Elvis too. That'll help. So Elvis will outperform. I got Black Phone. I got Elvis doing better. I got to think about the numbers. It's too early for that. But let's go to July. And as we're just doing this right now, let's see July Minions. That'll do well. It's an animated film, obviously, as you guys know. But that's a perfect situation for that. Thor on July 8th. Thor to me has the makings of the biggest movie this summer, but really it could be Maverick. Can you imagine? I knew Maverick would do really well, but if Maverick ends up being the biggest movie this summer, oh my God. No, Thor Love and Thunder will open to, I think it opens bigger than Strange 2. So Thor Love and Thunder opens bigger, and if it's better, and let's be honest, come on, be honest with me here. Strange 2 is a mid-Marvel film. So as a mid-Marvel film, it's got to be better. Thor Love and Thunder's got to be better, so that's going to make it a bigger hit. I think it's going to do very well. And then you got Paws of Fury. And then once we get Nope at the end of July is very curious. I want to see how that film does. Hopefully it's very accessible. I'm not sure it will be. I hope it's more, let's just say, not as esoteric as some of Jordan Peele's other work. I think if Nope is a traditional alien thriller along the lines of Signs, I know it won't be as traditional as Shyamalan, but I hope if it is, that'll be a hit. It'll do better than people think. League of Super Pets is dead, and then you get into August, you get Bullet Train. But funny, August is pretty much the end of it. I mean, at the end of the day, August is like people are like, eh. I mean, the bad movies come out then. All right, a few more minutes, and then we're going to roll out, and I'll be back here on Sunday night to talk about the final numbers. I'm very excited. Well, I mean, we'll be able to estimate Monday as well, but I think we're looking at least 150 plus for a 3. Points to Eric for risking the pony. Also, you should be a boxing promoter. Excellent hype guy. Thank you, Running Flame 175. Yeah, I probably should. Here's the thing though, is you guys know, you've been watching the stream, you know from my tweets. If I believe in something, then it's 100%. It's a passion. It's not. I never am going to say something's good that I don't believe in. I'm not built that way. I can't do it. Conversely, if I love something, I'm going to go all in and just go, oh my God, you have to see this film. And if I'm all out like men, I'm going to trash it because I mean, God bless everybody who worked on the film, but the point is, it's not a good film, and I can't recommend it. So I think one thing you can take away from me is that the truth is my truth. I'm never going to say something to say it or get a quote or whatever the hell it is. It's just being genuine, I think, ultimately. And there's a lot of people in this business that aren't. I hate to say it, they're not. Highway to the Weber Zone. I love it. Yeah. I mean, God, how great is it when Danger Zone goes on? I mean, I literally last night I screamed. I was in the row 3 with Mendelsohn. I think Mendelsohn was in the process of walking off as I go, Danger Zone! Like, let's get this crowd going. I did not get him to change his mind, by the way, Drew. It didn't happen. He still didn't watch it a second time. He went in to watch the trailers. He loves watching trailers. And then he left. And I stayed and watched the first, 20 minutes or so. And then I rolled out because I already saw it at 3. So I didn't want to see it back to back. But he didn't change his mind. He just thinks it's too nostalgia driven, which I can't argue with, but it works for me. It absolutely works. Too many streaming services outside. Nothing beats theatrical. Nothing, JT. Nothing ever be beaten theatrical. It's not going to happen. Theatrical is sacred. It's our cathedral. Chris Gore, good evening to you. Are you cruising to see Top Gun Maverick again? I already saw it twice. You've seen it twice. You saw it with me. Both. Well, actually, I didn't see. I saw some of it with you last night, but I saw it before you last night, and then we saw it together that Tuesday. When, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this. I don't think I've shared this with you. Hold on, let me share my screen. If I haven't already tonight, can I please just share this with you? This tweet that was sent saying, bookmark this tweet. Top Gun Maverick will land in Naples. It's only like the third time I've mentioned it because, I just want to drive home the point that I said this 17 days ago, and then look, there it is. It's like magic. By the way, if it were not an A plus, I would absolutely have a crying emoji because it'd be an A. It would be nothing lower than an A. But I just think it's hilarious. I'm like, there it is. Who did that? Who's that guy who called it? Oh, that's right. It's that Eric Weber guy. Thank you, Chris. Smash the like button. If for nothing else, guys, for the nailing the A plus cinema score, that deserves a like. I think that's fair. Ryan just got the news. Bob's Burgers got an A cinema score. I didn't see that. That is, it's not. Listen, I don't watch the show. I can't speak to what the show is. I just know what I watched was mildly humorous. I didn't laugh out loud like I did during Firestarter in the Scorched Cat scene. So there's no laughs as big as Firestarter in Bob's Burger, and I think Bob's Burgers. But I will say that some of the songs are too long. Like the last song in Bob's Burgers, where the bad guy reveals his plan, it's just like, oh man, that should have been edited. How did that thing go on for felt like 10 minutes, the song? I think it's an okay film. I think if you're a fan of the show, you'll probably like it. I'm just saying, for me, as someone who doesn't watch the show, I didn't have much of a reaction to Bob's Burgers. I don't think it's bad. I just didn't, oh my God, you got to see it. Oh man, JT, Glenn Powell kicks ass. I want to buy stock in Glenn Powell. I know Hollywood Stock Exchange used to be a thing. I know it's still around, but nobody really uses it. But if there was actually a way to buy stock in an actor, I remember I bought stock on HSX of Gosling when he was like coming up through Crazy Stupid Love and Drive. Don't get me wrong, but now the price has gone way up on him. And Glenn Powell's the same thing. If you can buy stock in him, do it now. Go get that ball, sign it for you. Everybody wants some. So listen, Nick, it's so good. I don't know if you saw it back when it came out. I saw it on the Paramount lot back in 2016 going, this is a cool film. Richard Linklater, which with a college baseball team comedy, really cool little film that most people didn't see it. And Bill Pullman's son, I remember, I didn't know that either. Bill Pullman's son, when I saw Top Gun Maverick 2.5 weeks ago, at the end, they have the things that goes Pullman. I go, oh my God, that's Bill Pullman's kid. I mean, obviously, it looks like him when you look at it, but he's really strong. And he's also in another movie called Press Play. I met the director up at an awards party at the Ross House, which is this awesome mansion here in LA that they have FYC events at. And I met the director of this film called Press Play, and I think it's coming out really soon. I think Pullman is in that. But check that film out, Press Play. It's coming out soon, and the director is super cool. Really nice kid, and hopefully he has a solid career going forward, and the film's a success. I think it's a small film, but it always starts with a small film. Monica Barbero was great. Yeah, absolutely stunning and badass. She could land more roles off this. That's what's going to happen, Drew. It is no question. It is about people seeing you in a film like this. The visibility has just been raised to a level 500. I mean, literally, it's like full wattage visibility on this, where every studio is going to see this film. Every agent, every assistant, every manager, every publicist is going to see this film and love this film, and they're going to say, my God, Monica's fantastic. Look at Glenn Powell. Look at Pullman's kid. Look at all these people that are in the film, and now we're going to put them in other things. So this is what it starts like that. You're in a film that's big or has a lot of cachet with the industry, and then all of a sudden you get jobs out of it. That's what's going to happen to everybody in this film, including Monica. I absolutely agree with you. She is badass, and she's great. Everybody in this film is good. No one is bad in this film, which is very rare. Almost every film I see, there's a performance that's okay or borderline not great. Everyone is on top of it. And I think it speaks to the director, and it also speaks to Cruise. Think about this. Tom Cruise is on the set, and you're working with Tom Cruise, a legend, and he pulls you aside and says, hey, do this. Or maybe he just says, hey, loosen up. You're all of a sudden going to go, oh my God, this is Tom Cruise talking to me. I'm going to do whatever this guy says. He is a legend. He's been doing this for 50 years, right? I mean, he's 60, right? So he's been at it since he was in his teens. You go back to Risky Business, right? And even before that, was he in Losing It? I think he was in Losing It, which was by the way, in the 80s, if you didn't know, they had tons of sex comedies, raunchy sex coms like Porky's, Losing It, Private School. Johnny Depp was in one, I want to say, called Private School. Not that I watched any of these movies. I mean, I was not like, a horny teenager back. Okay, let's not go down that road. Wondering how long Top Gun Maverick keep the buzz going. It'll go for sure for many weeks. And the problem and the issue, I shouldn't call it a problem. I should call it the main issue that Paramount has going forward with this turning into an awards film and becoming one of the films that you see behind me is that it is very hard to draw a movie from May all the way through all fall and then into next year for the Oscars. That said, the film is going to be so strong and have such huge box office. If this hits $1 billion worldwide, that it's almost a lock because at that point it's really become again this cultural phenomenon that this film has already become this weekend. It's going to grow and then eventually it'll continue through the year, but they got to bring it back. Again, I always, and this is perfect, I point to Rocket Man all the time. Rocket Man's a Paramount movie. Rocket Man came out in May, just like this film, same exact date, I'm pretty sure. Paramount loves this date, Memorial Day, or right around it. And Rocket Man did not do the awards it should have done because it came out too early in the year. Top Gun Maverick's going to be different because people are going to love Top Gun Maverick. People liked Rocket Man. They didn't love like they do Maverick. So Maverick's going to be okay. I do think so. Let's go to Aaliyah again. Baloney does wonder if enough money can be thrown at Cruise to shorten the 120-day theater window to 45 or 90. We'll see. Yeah, I know Matt does a pretty good. He's a good reporter. But at the end of the day, don't announce it right now. Why would you? Why would you announce that you're going to put this movie on streaming like now? Because then you instantly take your available audience and shrink it. So let's say someone was like, "Oh, I'm not waiting 4 months." They go, "Well, it's only going to be 45 days." Then instantly you got someone who would have gone to the theater that says, no, I'm going to wait 45 days. I can do a month and a half. I could even do 3 months. But 4 months, I can't do that. Don't announce it. If I'm working for a studio, I'm like, we're not going to tell you what the window is. Just go see it in theaters. Figure it out. Again, we're past the whole thing. People don't feel safe anymore. I don't want to hear that narrative anymore. I just don't want to hear it. And if you don't feel safe, that's your thing. Don't spread it to me. I don't want to hear it. Sorry. It's the truth. Tom Cruise, global stardom. Let's see. Is it Dipankar? Joshi? Okay. Hope I got it right. Tom Cruise, global stardom, helping huge overseas. Yes. Record numbers from Europe. Asia, huge. Cruise, he's a worldwide star. Great point here, Dipankar. Biggest movie star of all time, hands down. I mean, I think that he is, if you look at box office across, his numbers are insane. Again, Brad Pitt's up there, but Brad Pitt has not been around as long as Tom Cruise. Brad Pitt really got started in Thelma and Louise, which I believe was 1990, 91. It's somewhere in there. It's in the late 80s, early 90s, okay? So Thelma and Louise was his first thing, and he was, obviously that was his moment, just like Julia Roberts in Mystic Pizza, Glenn Powell in Maverick, where the guy has his breakout performance. But Cruise was going again with Losing It. I think Losing It was like 82, 83. Risky Business was, I think, 82, right in that time. So early 80s. And then you had Color of Money, 86. Top Gun, 86. Color of Money was not a huge hit, but Tom Cruise was up and coming. Cocktail. Oh, I love Cocktail. Okay, if you ask me a guilty pleasure, I would tell you Cocktail all day, all night. I saw Cocktail in theaters at least 4 times. I took multiple dates to see Cocktail. The young Eric took multiple dates to see Cocktail. It's like the perfect date movie. Man, I like that movie a lot. By multiple, I mean eventual domestic gross. Okay, got it. Yeah. Sure. The 3-day would be a 3.5 multiple. So if it's 50, 150, 160, 170, and or higher. And then the long term, I gotta look at that. I gotta really study the long term. I get more bogged down and really dialed in on opening weekends and successive weekends rather than overall gross. But yeah, there's always a multiple for that. Whatever the multiple, the highest multiple you can have is going to be what happens here because it's a theatrical exclusive for 120 days and it's got an A+ cinema score. So you're talking about a multiple that is going to be the highest multiple you can have for a film. That's how big it is. Oh man, he's asking for an FYC item. I promised I'd show an FYC item every single night, and I didn't even bring one to the. Do I even have one? Okay, fine. This. I wish Menzel was watching tonight. This has been sitting on my desk the entire time. This is my Hollywood Critics Association. Not my membership. That's another story. This is for going to their award show. It was on my thing, and I said I just like the look of that. So I have the Hollywood Critics Association Eric Weber placard for their award show they had this year. Scott Menzel's such a good friend. He's like a brother. And he runs HCA. He's a great guy. So that's always here. There you go. That's my FYC item of the night. We'll have something better on Sunday, but I do like that. It's been sitting here the whole time. Has Top Gun been banned in China yet? Alan Ing in the house here on a Friday. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in this that should or could be banned in China. You know what's interesting about Top Gun Maverick is that the enemy is nameless and faceless, right? You don't know what country it is. Smart, because that way it can travel to anywhere. You can put it in any country and say, well, it's just the generic, we could call it Cobra, right? G.I. Joe. Hey, it's Paramount. It's Cobra that's in Maverick. What? There you go. There's a tweet. If you steal that, someone out there, I swear to God, I will run this tape back. Cobra is the enemy, and where's the tweet button? Yeah, it literally could be Cobra. Did you watch Obi-Wan Kenobi? I do not. I have not. I haven't seen the Andor trailer. You would ask me all these things. I'm primarily a film guy. I mean, unless I watch Ozark. So I can't. If you guys love it, tell me. Tell me it's great. Tell me it's really worth the time. I'm not watching She-Hulk. First of all, I haven't watched hardly any Marvel Plus shows, but Disney Plus Marvel shows. But Tom Cruise is the god of the third act. Isn't he great? And he just gives everything to his performances. But it's really, for me, if you look at Tom Cruise and why are people, I said, hey, he's the best actor candidate. So like, oh, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Come see me later this fall. Come see me early next year when he shows up at Golden Globes for sure. Golden Globes is a lock. By the way, Golden Globes are coming back. Those of you who think Golden Globes are dead and buried, no. They'll be back. And Tom Cruise will be nominated, and so will Top Gun Maverick. That's what you need to get into the Oscars. Golden Globes. It'll still go right back to that. I'm telling you, you even saw some of it this year. It was canceled. People were still talking about Golden Globes. So, Tom Cruise in the scene with Val Kilmer. You've heard he's in the movie. I'm not ruining anything. I'm not going to say what the scene is, but the scene that he has with him in the moment, and the moment where Tom just lets it go, is really, truly great stuff. And that is an absolute best actor moment right there. Not good for Lightyear. Jedi Cat, absolutely correct. I said that. When you look at the release schedule, I'll pull it up again. I tell you right now, the release schedule is not favorable for Lightyear, and that is because it is back-to-back with Dominion. It's back-to-back with Jurassic World, and you do not want to be there. Let's pull it up again. Okay, that's August. Let's go back. I got to go back to June. By the way, remember, August is pretty much the end of it because families are going on vacation. People are going back to school. So August is very rare that you have a huge hit. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the rare August smash hits. Let's see. Let's go back here down to the bottom. There's Lightyear. Okay, so Lightyear's the 17th, right? And then... But here's the problem. Dominion's the 10th. So the next weekend, that's not good because, again, people are not going to go to the movies as much back-to-back. I think it's going to hurt Lightyear big time. Also, the fact that Lightyear just doesn't look that... I don't know about you guys. I'm not excited about Lightyear. I look at that trailer and it doesn't do a whole lot for me. The cat, I get. I love cats, but even the cat's like... Summer 2023. That's a whole nother thing. We will save that. Nick, we will do that. I'll do that for maybe on Sunday. We can do that after you box office. Look ahead to 2023. It's going to be crazy. A Flash, Indy, MI7. It's going to be great. And I can't wait. And listen, movies are back. That's the best news. Test screening. Yeah, I've heard that, JT, that the test screening for Nope did not go as well because the visual effects are not there. Again, I've been to test screenings. I can't really tell you which ones. I've been to them. Now I can't because they'll be like, I know who that is. I know that guy. He can't come in. I don't know why, because I would be really perfect for a test screen. Honestly, I've said this before. Show me the movie, and because I'm very honest and very straightforward, and I will always say what I believe, is that I will say this movie's terrible or this movie's great. You just need, like, if they show me a test screening of Top Gun Maverick, I'd say don't change a single thing. Movie's good. Moving on. Nope. These movies like Nope that have visual effects, those aren't finished. So if you watch a test screening, you could see green screen, you could see computer animation that looks absolutely horrible, or frankly just blank screens, and it looks jokey. So it's going to bring the film down. So that doesn't surprise me that the test screening didn't go well because the visual effects aren't great. That would make sense to me. So yeah, and I heard the same thing. Let's see. Jedi saying Obi-Wan isn't worth it unless you've seen all the films. You might be lost. I've seen all the films, but it's just one of those things. By the way, Rogue One's near the top of my list. I judge people how they view that film. If you love Rogue One, we are going to be good friends. If you do not love Rogue One, I don't know what to say. So I don't think I'm going to get into it. But Disney sent me the screener, and I was just kind of like, maybe I'll go see Firestarter again. I'm sorry. I know that's so. This is probably explains why I haven't completely blown up, right? Because I don't talk about Marvel and Star Wars all day. We talk about deeper topics such as box office and cinema scores. Box office pro tracking predicting 160 for Jurassic to 210. 90 to 120 for Lightyear, 1722 Black Phone, and 3555. I would take, okay, so let's just look at those numbers. I would take, and then we're going to wrap it here on this Friday. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll be back on Sunday with the actual numbers, but I wanted to talk about how great this film is going to do this weekend, especially with this A+ cinema score. All right, let's look at these real quick. Jurassic at 160 to 210. It's 2 weeks after this. I'm going to put it at 185, 190. Let's go to Lightyear. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take low on that. 90 to 120. I'll take it closer to 90. A Black Phone, I'll take 20. I'll take right in the middle of that. And then Elvis, I would push it to 40, 45. I'd say a little bit over mid on that. So those are all going to be, again, I think the biggest of those is going to be Jurassic World, although I hear it's not fantastic. So we'll find out. But it doesn't matter. It's critic proof. It's critic proof. But it will help if it's good. I mean, look at what happened with Top Gun Maverick this weekend. It helps that the film is really strong. I mean, really, to me, it's the best film of the year with X. Maverick, 2 best films of the year, and an A+ cinema score tells me that other people feel the same way. Absolutely. And thank you, Claudio. This is a perfect time to wrap. Rogue One is outstanding. It is truly a remarkable feat to make that film as great as it is, considering the trouble it was in, different directors, and the way it was finished. All the story of that. I'd love to know the full story of Rogue One, but the actual final product of Rogue One kicks total ass and is by far one of the best Star Wars films. So, Claudio, A+ for you. That's going to do it tonight for Midnight Movie Talk. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, all the things you always hear. And I'll see you back here on Sunday night. Enjoy your weekend. See you Sunday.